fabled heat, where magic meets desire. Subscribe to ignite the fantasy.
The biting chill of the void clung to Anya as she floated in zero-G, the vast emptiness mirroring the hollowness in her chest. 5 years trapped on this ship with him. 5 years to either kill or kiss Kane Rorick. The mission briefing had been a blur, the sterile pronouncements of duty and sacrifice fading into insignificance against the backdrop of his unwavering gaze. His steel-gray eyes always watching, always calculating. She hated him. She desired him. The general's words echoed in her memory, his cybernetic eye a crimson beacon in the dim light. Those in your flight will be your brothers and sisters in arms. You will eat, sleep, and bleed together if necessary. Bleed together with Kane. The thought sent a shiver down her spine, a mixture of dread and forbidden excitement. She recalled the countless nights she had lain awake, her mind racing with the possibilities of their mission, her heart pounding in her chest as she thought of him. The way he moved with a quiet confidence, the way his eyes seemed to see right through her. Then the artificial gravity kicked in, a subtle hum vibrating through the ship's hull. Anya gripped a handrail, her knuckles white as she pulled herself toward the docking bay. Fighters, gleaming behemoths of steel and fury, were suspended on magnetic clamps, each a vessel of destruction, each a potential tomb. The smell of fuel and ozone filled her nostrils, and the soft hum of the ship's engines vibrated through her very being. A shadow fell over her and she turned to find Kane looming behind her, his presence as suffocating as the vacuum of space. "Impressive, aren't they?" he murmured, his voice a low rumble that vibrated against her skin. Anya refused to meet his eyes, focusing instead on the intricate details of the fighter's design. Their weapons, Kane, tools of war, he chuckled, a dark, humorless sound. "Everything is a weapon, Commander, even you." Her breath caught in her throat. The unspoken tension between them crackled in the air, a dangerous spark that threatened to ignite into a full-blown inferno. And he was right, she thought. She was a weapon, and Kane Rorick knew exactly how to wield her. She felt a surge of anger at the thought, but it was quickly replaced by a sense of trepidation. What did he plan to do with her? The silence between them was oppressive, heavy with unspoken words and unresolved feelings. Anya's heart pounded in her chest as she waited for him to speak, her senses on high alert. "We should review the mission parameters," she said finally, trying to sound calm. "We can't afford to make any mistakes." Kane's eyes narrowed, his gaze piercing. "I've reviewed the parameters, Commander. I know what's at stake." Anya felt a shiver run down her spine at the intensity of his gaze. "Then let's get to work," she said, trying to keep her voice steady. "We have a lot to discuss." As they walked towards the briefing room, the tension between them was palpable. Anya couldn't help but wonder what the future held for them, and whether they would emerge from their mission alive. The ship's corridors seemed to stretch on forever, the soft hum of the engines and the faint smell of fuel filling the air. Anya's thoughts were a jumble of emotions, her mind racing with the possibilities of their mission. She knew that she had to keep her feelings in check to maintain a professional demeanor in the face of overwhelming odds, but as she glanced at Kane, she couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. What did the future hold for them, and what would happen when they finally faced their enemies? The briefing room was a sterile, functional space, the walls lined with screens and data terminals. Anya took a seat at the head of the table, Kane sitting across from her. The air was thick with tension as they began to review the mission parameters, their voices low and even. But despite the calm exterior, Anya's heart was racing. She knew that their mission was a perilous one and that the stakes were higher than ever before. As they pored over the data, Anya couldn't help but feel a sense of unease. What lay ahead for them, and would they emerge from their mission alive? The screens in front of them displayed a vast array of data, from navigation charts to tactical analyses. Anya's eyes scanned the information, her mind racing with the possibilities. She knew that they had to be careful, that one misstep could spell disaster, but as she glanced at Kane, she felt a sense of reassurance. He was a skilled pilot and a seasoned veteran of countless battles. Together, they might just have a chance to succeed. The meeting drew to a close, the tension between them still palpable. Anya knew that they had a long and difficult road ahead of them, but she was determined to see it through. As they left the briefing room, she felt a sense of resolve. She would do whatever it took to complete their mission, no matter the cost, and as she glanced at Kane, she knew that he felt the same way. The silence between them was oppressive, but it was also a reminder of their shared purpose. They were in this together, and they would see it through to the end. The ship's corridors seemed to stretch on forever, the soft hum of the engines and the faint smell of fuel filling the air. Anya's thoughts were a jumble of emotions, her mind racing with the possibilities of their mission. She knew that she had to keep her feelings in check to maintain a professional demeanor in the face of overwhelming odds, but as she glanced at Kane, she couldn't help but feel a sense of trepidation. What did the future hold for them? And what would happen when they finally faced their enemies? The darkness of space seemed to press in around them, a reminder of the vast and unforgiving universe that lay ahead. Anya steeled herself for what was to come, her heart pounding in her chest. She knew that she was ready, that she would do whatever it took to complete their mission. And as she glanced at Kane, she knew that he felt the same way. Together they would face whatever lay ahead, their bond forged in the fire of adversity. The ship's engines roared to life, the vessel shuddering as it broke free of its moorings. Anya felt a sense of exhilaration, her heart pounding in her chest. They were on their way, and nothing would ever be the same again. The stars stretched out before them, a vast and endless expanse of possibility. Anya knew that they would face countless challenges, that their mission would be fraught with danger. But she was ready, her spirit unbroken and her will unshaken. And as she glanced at Kane, she knew that he felt the same way. Together they would conquer the unknown, their hearts and minds forged in the fire of adventure.